Hello everyone and welcome to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide once again. It's week 39 here and it's the year 2021. My word, I didn't even know what year it was then. And as you can see in the background, we have a very strange combo. We have the pickup trucks and we are at Bathurst. What an insane combo this is. Let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 2 laps here at Bathurst. It's a grid start and we are on the racing hard tyres. We actually have a lot of grip in these, and I'm really thankful they did put racing tyres on, because this race is a lot of fun, actually. You don't realise how wide these cars are. Let's jump to the race then, and let's have a look exactly what happened, as well as a little bit drama, as there always is in race A. Here we are then at the start. Look how wide these trucks are. It's the Tundra, by the way. It's only the Tundra, as you can see there on the left-hand side. But look how massive they are. It's ridiculous. So what we're going to do, we're quickly going to show you the brake balance, because they're the brakes. It's 0. Well, it could be anything, to be honest with you. This race isn't really about braking. It's just about surviving and having a bit of fun, to be honest. Crash control is not needed, so don't turn it on. And then off we go, to be honest. I have no idea how the guy behind got such a massive start, but hey, maybe someone can figure it out. So we're going to head in to the first corner. Oh, a bit of a track guide as well. 50-meter board-ish. You know, I don't really know, if I'm honest, but that's what I was aiming for. Just a bit further than my normal brake markers, so that 50 is a bit further ahead of the photographer. So that's what I was aiming for. Basically, a few meters past my normal brake markers. I will put out my normal brake markers where I can, but the truck's so big, you can't see them. So it feels a bit irrelevant, personally, and we're not going that fast anyway. So it's one of those where you're going to have to pick and choose depending on your situation. As you can see here, we're side by side, all the way down to this right-hander. But obviously on the left, we've got the Peter tarmac, which is coming up there. I've just highlighted it. So I was going to brake just after this tarmac ends on the left. Bit of sense check for you. Obviously, we normally brake in there somewhere, or right at the end. We brake just after it now. And we're just trying not to hit Quinton up ahead. The Italian just forcing Quinton a little bit on the inside, but everyone's trying to survive as we leave that corner and head up the hill then. Or mountain if you're in Australia. So Consta decides to make it 3 wide because he's an absolute pleb. Well, he's a legend, to be honest, isn't he, Consta? But 3 we go. I think, excellent, we've got this nailed. Then the Italian hits the barrier. And I go all the way to the back of the grid. So we're going to fast forward on a little bit here. So this corner is flat out. You do not need to lift. Just go around it. Just make sure you don't hit the barrier. As the Italian did there, it is about to absolutely wipe out. Sleepy Panda T-Bone there. And as you come down the hill, you're going to brake at the Audi R8 sign. And then second gear as you took it in here. And look at... We're going that slow, to be honest with you. You don't really need brake markers, which is I'm not pointing out that many, as you can see here with Quinton. So for this corner, usually you lift off and then brake straight in a straight line. Again, this we've got side-by-side action. It is possible here. So I decided to follow Consta instead. See if we can, you know, bumper draft. But unfortunately, that's not the case as we head up towards this left-hander. Signivent, or sign event. The usual one. You're braking just after that. And again, I'm braking a bit early here because there's that many cars around me. But aim for that. You should be golden and fine. As we go on the inside of Quinton, then look at this. Quinton bumper drafts the Spaniard. But unfortunately, that slows Quinton right down. So we're looking to get past Quinton now. Happy days. Don't do this very often at the moment. I say at the moment, Quinton, I'm coming for you, mate. But last corner is obviously the tree. We're going to brake just after the tree then. At 10 so meters after, and then yeah, hit the brakes and hopefully we'll stop the car. But we will stop the car as we do there. And you see somebody's just been returned to circuit, and the Spaniard gets a bit scared here, goes left to avoid them, which is fair enough. Don't know whether the ghost is going to come back alive or not, but that cost us a position, unfortunately, as Quinton goes by. So once again, heading towards turn 1, we're looking for around that 50-meter board. We can't really see it, which is why I couldn't do the track guide on this lap. But it's somewhere there, and we get round happy days. Now, you do rev the nuts out of this car. Thank you to Doc Brown for pointing that out in the Discord beforehand, because that helped out massively. So coming into this right-hander then, I think, right, I'll follow Quinton. Keep the momentum. Momentum is key in this truck. So as we go around there, look at that, around the outside of the Spaniard. Happy days, and we're following Quinton now up the hill into this left-hander. So you brake for this, just as it goes straight, as you normally would, and then keep it on the inside. Second gear, and just rev the nuts out of it, of course. Now, unfortunately, the Spaniard gets a better run than me, and it's going to get on the inside there. And we're going to go side by... Now, this is some really nice driving, to be fair, with me and the Spaniard. Look at this. We're side by side through here. And we're going to be side by side all the way through this. So, obviously, I'm taking a bit more grass than normal because I can. I'm in a pickup truck. So, round we go. We're still side by side. Look at this for beautiful racing. The French driver just wants to turn in on Quinton for reasons I'm not aware of. We finally get that position. The French driver comes back on, pushes Quinton, and then slams on the anchors like crazy, and that scares the crap out of me. Obviously, that causes a huge concertina effect. That forces the Frenchman back into the Spaniard, which hits me. We're then sort of stuck in some weird environment of where it's just ping pong, but it's one of those where the initial contact just caused chaos, and I get a track limit penalty. Somehow, in all of that, this truck being about 50 years wide, somehow I get a track penalty going down the hill. If you know the answer to that, please post it on a postcard to P.O. Box. Tidge has no idea. Right, anyway, we carry on towards the chase here, and look in the mirror, and we see the French driver going to the realm with you as they go off to Narnia, and we continue on out of that corner. So, as you've seen, it's quite a fun race, to be honest, but there is contact. There's lots of contact in there. So, if you don't like that, don't do it. If you do like just a bit of a fun race where it's not really about braking and accelerating and anyone can race anyone, jump in race A. It's quite good. Let's jump to race B then, which is normally race A. Welcome to Suzuka then, specifically Suzuka East, which is what is normally race A. So this is quite unusual in the fact that it is race B. You can see my car choice in the background there, the Alfa Romeo 4C, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's have a look at those race details. We're racing 7 laps here at Suzuka East. It's a rolling start, which is kind of hilarious to be honest, and we are on racing medium tyres. So as I say, I chose the Alfa Romeo 4C. Big thanks to GTP A Barber 95 for actually making this livery for the livery competition when it was Easter. So we've got an Easter Alfa Romeo going round here. Now, this race, kind of interesting. You can pick a number of cars, to be honest with you, but the Alfa was top of the board. We went with the Alfa. Let's jump to the race and let's find out exactly what happened. Here we are then at the start. RCZ on pole there. That's Quinton, of course, being the ultimate meme, of course. We've got a few 4Cs. Scirocco Direct TT. We've got a Viper in there, which you saw at the start. We've got Megane trophies at the back. So quite an interesting choice of cars. -3 brake balance in the Alfa I found was okay. Very tail happy. So personally, if you don't like tail happy cars, probably pick something else. But yeah, I think you can pick a variety of cars as you'll see in this race. So we start halfway around the track apparently, and have to do the last corner as through we go, and we're gonna head straight into a lap guide as well. I say lap guide is one braking point in this whole circuit, so nice and easy for me to edit and should be nice and easy for you folks to learn the brake marker. So as we head down towards turn 1, you see the pit lane line there? Just brake just at the end of it or just after the end. Now you see I'm braking just before it here. That's because it's lap 1, minute 1. I don't want to go off. I don't want to go too aggressive in this Alfa Romeo. But you notice I've got to come off the brakes fairly early there, and I'm not really braking hard at all. So you'll trail brake through that corner. Obviously, the later you brake, the harder you're going to have to brake, so just be careful of that. But the pit line marker is your best mate. The rest of the circuit is literally about balancing the car. So you see I'm in 4th gear here. In the Alfa, it's 4th gear all the way to the last corner. But unfortunately, Nicky here is just going to lose the rear end of that Scirocco. So we have to drop to 3rd, get on the inside, get that position, back up to 4th gear then, through the left. And then as you go for the right-hander here, that's when I dropped to 3rd gear. I did tell the brakes slightly, but there's no need to. It's all about balancing the car here. You notice I was just adjusting the throttle there. And yeah, that's that done and dusted. So we're on lap 4 already as we course up to the Viper. So Viper, probably a good shout for those that don't like rear, well, very oversteery cars, should I say, as we come into the first corner. And you're just going to see how difficult it is to overtake, because one of the Scirocco's there has just been pushed off in the distance, the Spaniard. And then someone's just gone on the inside of them as well. As we looked on the inside of the Viper, we had already followed it for a lap and tried, but yeah, I didn't want to just show you a lap of being stuck behind the Viper, to be honest. I want to show you some action. So you see the Vipers trying to get around the Scirocco here, a little bit of a tap there. I'm trying to get on the inside. Good awareness by the French driver here to notice that I was on the inside there. And unfortunately, not going to be on the inside here. So we're going to start looking again. It's going to be very difficult for us to get on the inside here, though. And if I'd have gone there, I reckon I would have pit maneuvered the Viper, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't want to do that. I just want to race clean. But you can see the Viper there, a lot of speed over the Alfa Romeo, so it has a good run at the Scirocco then as we head towards turn 1. The Alfa, not very good in a straight line, so it's not a good car for overtaking, really. As in we go then, and you see a little bit of contact then between these two. Nothing major, but we're going to get on the inside of the French driver then. And round we go. Obviously, the Viper's got good speed, so I'll have a good exit. And into the left-hander we go, side by side. Some good racing here. And we're looking to get this position done and dusted. And there we go. Look at that. Beautiful little bit of racing there with the French driver. Thank you so much for that, mate. As now we're stuck behind the Scirocco ourselves. We have to figure this one out. How do we get past? So I noticed they left the door wide open here. I did back out of that at the very last second. I wasn't as close as I wanted to be there. as we come through the right-hander. But they really did leave it open. So keep that in mind for a future move. And as you can see through here, struggling with understeer. That Scirocco just had no power. So we're going to go into the final lap then. Still stuck behind the Scirocco. They did pick up their pace a little bit here, which is why the Viper wasn't as close as well. So coming into the braking zone, I went a little bit too aggressive. Notice how the rear instantly came out there. So you got to be so careful with the Alfa Romeo. You really do. But we're then going to head into the left and right of the S's. So I'm trying to get as close as I can to make a move on one of the S's then. As you can see, I'm trying to carry that speed, and I'm carrying so much more speed than the Scirocco. I was thinking, okay, let's go around the inside here. Wasn't quite there, but then I was like, okay, I know he keeps it open here all the time, so he does it again. This time I'm there, I'm fine. Slight tap from them, but nothing major. He still has room on there, and then he goes a bit too deep. So, fortunately for us, we get that position. I thought that was all fair. Let me know in the chat or comments what you think, but I thought that was all fair game, to be honest. Good bit of racing, and just unfortunate the Spaniard went too aggressive into the final corner, and yeah, we took full advantage. But race B, not that fun, very hard to overtake, but might be a good one to practice trail braking. Let's head then to race C. Welcome to Fuji then, where I feel like we've been every single week, including the manufacturer series, which unfortunately I didn't get to do the last race there. So my Aston career is literally over. Peak Nico Rosberg content right there, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look at the race details. We're racing 12 laps here at Fuji. It's a rolling start, and we are on the racing soft and medium tyres. Both are required. Fuel usage ×2, tyre wear ×7. That's all you need to know. In terms of car choice, there was lots up there. Fuji, generally a good overall balanced circuit, so pick what you generally like. Oversteered cars will struggle in terms of the tyre wear. I went with the Peugeot RCZ. Once again, a huge thank you to Mungino and Driver's Room for this livery. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's go to the race then, and let's see what happens, including me being a bit of a plonker. Here we are then at the start. I see Aston Martin on pole, and Porsche, then a couple of Supras, a Lexus. The RCZs are in there as well. We've got a Beetle, Corvette. Mixture of all sorts. So, oh, and Concert in the 4C as well. So pick what you like. Pick the Group 3 car you enjoy. I like the Peugeot, so I went with that. Brake balance +1/2. Depends how good you are with tyre wear, if I'm honest. And I was, you know, if you do a very aggressive short stint on mediums, you're going to need the +2 or even +3, but we'll get to that shortly. I'm starting on the medium tyres. Just weaving here to get some warmth into the tyres so I can brake effectively at turn 1. Drivers behind are catching me though, so I do have to be careful, and I'm going to straighten up pretty sharpish. There we go. Head towards turn 1 then, and we're just going to go into the braking zone. The Corvette behind already making moves there on the other RCZ, but through we go. No real dramas there. You see Quinton up ahead in the flawless livery. So shout out to Quinton for using that livery. Got my face all over it as we go into the left-hander then. Corvette behind going a little bit too deep, but we've broken away from them, which is good. I'm going to fall into this battle here with Consta. We've got Wombat. Quinton just got past Wombat, didn't he? So in towards the left-hander we go. Just looking on the inside, look at Consta's awareness there. That's good awareness. Looks to go around the outside of the Super. Super just loses the rear end slightly. So that wasn't crowding Consta out really. That was more just, yeah, just catching the slide from Wombat. We're going to go down the inside then, and then we're looking in towards the chicane here. Slight tap on Consta there by Wombat, but we all survive. Happy days. That's good stuff. Now the Supra up ahead. Well, we've got a Corvette going off, but the Supra up ahead has a very slow exit on that corner. We managed to actually gain really well there. Unfortunately, Wombat goes straight into the Supra. Causes a bit of a weird Constantina effect. I wonder whether that was lag in all of that, because suddenly it all sort of settled down and everyone got in their places, and Wombat did have 2 bars there, so it could have been that, as we see a jumping Porsche in the distance. So around this last corner, I really wanted to be in the slipstream so I could, you know, go down the straight and really break away from the group behind. Unfortunately, with that slight contact that Wombat and the other Super driver had, we're just losing out here, and Quinton goes for the ultra aggressive strategy of stopping on lap 1. Very aggressive strategy. We'll see how that plays out shortly as we head towards turn 1 then, and you can see some attacking going on up ahead, and the Corvette behind with the slipstream goes for the move. I noticed they outbrake themselves straight away, so I'm like, no worries at all. We'll take that back. Thank you very much. Good effort, though, from Twitch, that driver there. I'm assuming that's his Twitch name. Go check it out. I'm going to try and pronounce that as we continue on here. So we're all over the back of the Porsche driver then, the Swede. Nice little livery on this car. Very Swedish livery. So down into the braking zone, I was thinking, right, let's try around the outside here. Is it possible Fortunately not, and we're not going to get that done there. So well defended by the Swedish driver as we come through here and carry on. Corvette all over the back of me as well. They decided to back out of that move around the outside. It was very smart of them, to be honest with you. As through we go and then in towards this left-hander. So at this moment, I was like, you know what? I might get held up here with the Porsche driver and the Corvette driver fighting. So I was like, if they go in the pits, I'll carry on. If they don't go in the pits, I'll go in the pits. Let's see what happens then. So I noticed the Porsche driver on the right-hand side. I'm like, okay, looks like he could be going in the pits. So I'm waiting. And then I'm like, wait, no, he's not going in. And I wasn't sure how much you could cut this, but you could cut this a lot more than I did there. So I have a slow entry to the pits. We come out on the soft tyre then, and around 19 seconds pit loss. And you can see there, Quinton gained an additional second on that lap alone from coming in the pits 1 lap earlier. So the undercut looking quite big here. So, advance a lap later. You see Consta's been in the pits, and so is Sleepy Panda. They're both coming out now. Unfortunately for me, I didn't gain that much on Consta. I made a mistake on the last corner. I wish I showed it, actually. I have no idea why I haven't put it in, but I had a really slow last corner, and it cost me half a second to Quinton as well. As we go a bit further on, and you can see, found Shelty. There he is. We found him. Just coming out the pits in that Beetle. And we got Birakus there as well in the LCZ. So Consta right in the thick of the traffic. That's the really frustrating part of this. I think if we'd have just been a bit further ahead from that initial contact on lap 1, we'd have skipped all this traffic and we'd have had a far better... Whoa! The Peugeot behind was close. We'd have missed a lot of the traffic. We did skip quite a few of it as it's all behind us now, but even so, we may have skipped these as well and actually been very close to Consta, or even actually past Consta with the fact that we did come in the pits a lap earlier. But it is what it is. We're here racing, and as you can see, we're on lap 6 down. The tyre wear is significant. You can see that down in that bottom left-hand side. And we are trying to get past Barakas. Cheers, Lol Power, for liking my activity, or whatever that is, as we go through this left-hander then. But it looks like it's going to stay status quo for now. So third gear on that corner, just because I'm saving tyres. Going down here, we're going to look at Barakas there. Brakes really early, so go down the inside. And unfortunately, the Rothmans Peugeot was looking to try and outbrake me quite far back there as well, because I didn't outbrake myself. I was bang on the money. Unfortunately, they go into Shelty. Barakas probably didn't see me, I don't know, but I definitely made the apex quite easily there, or would have done if there wasn't a random Peugeot that suddenly appeared on my inside. But it's scruffy, I would say. A very scruffy turn 1 from quite a few people there, including myself, you could argue. But I wasn't expecting a very early break there from the Peugeot RCZ driver. So we do gain from that. It was some form of advantage, but we're going to continue racing all the same here in P7. So we are past Shelty. We're past the Corvette driver as well, who we were racing earlier on. You can see how, because we were stuck in the traffic, the undercut hasn't really worked. Now, top left, I see Mehdi is on mediums. I'm like, that's not possible. He must have come in for his second stop. I was a bit of a pleb here. It just changed to mediums. He was on his softs, which I knew he was on softs. So I came in the pits again. I don't know why, other than thinking that. So I'm a bit of a plonker, really, and messed up the strategy completely. I have no idea why I did that. So now I go super duper aggressive to try and have some racing action here. I'm going to start flying, so my tyre wear is going to drop off like anything, like a ton. I don't know what else to say. I was trying to think of a catchphrase, but I've plebbed it. Way anyway, so we've got a little bit of sideways action from one back, and we have caught up to these very quickly. Obviously, fresh soft tyres once again. So we're going to try and get past these guys very quickly. See how far up we can get, but a 19-second pit stop. Not going to work out here in the slightest, but yeah, what a plonker I was coming in the pits then. I just saw it. I was like, mediums. Oh, my word. It must be a 2-stop. And then I don't know why I thought that, because I know the pit stop's long. Even so, we're going down the inside of one back, and I really wanted to get in the slipstream of this Supra, but we managed to do that beautifully. Look at that in terms of a last corner. That is very nice indeed. And we're going to be in the slipstream of the Supra, which is all very well and good. We're also going to go into a lap guide now. I know many of you watch it just purely for the lap guide, but obviously I like to show you the racing as well, so you can get a feel whether you want to do race A, B, or C. So we're going to head towards turn 1. We're in the slipstream here as well. We're going to start looking there, and on the left-hand side, you've got the start of the grandstand, but I actually in the RCZ was using the start of the black sign on the grandstand. The RCZ can brake very late. Now I'm on very fresh tyres here versus everybody else. I know I can make this apex here. As you see there, beautifully made. No harm in that at all as we continue through there. Happy day. So, you know, you can use the grandstand or even the adverts on the grandstand. So heading towards this left-hander. The left-hand side, it goes from dark grey to light grey. The last point on that barrier there. That's what I use now. More than anything at Fuji. I have changed throughout the years here at Fuji, but that's what I use at the moment. 4th gear, clip the inside, through we go. Now, this next corner, the right-hander, you're just going to bounce this car with the throttle. And that's what you do in most cars here. You just bounce it. You don't really touch the brakes. And as you head down towards this left-hander, I'm using the end of the curb on the left-hand side. Obviously, I'm going really aggressive because I did 2 stops. Shouldn't really do that. On the 1 stop, you would just be in 3rd gear in the RCZ. But I'm going to drop to 2nd gear because I want full aggression. I want maximum attack here out the corners. And I'm just going to abuse those tyres as much as I possibly can. And as you can see, we're in the slipstream of the Corvette up ahead. As we head down towards the chicane then, normally it's a Dunlop sign, but we're going to be using the orange painted barrier on the right-hand side, just after it actually as well. And you're going to brake down to 2nd gear if you're saving tyres, 1st gear if you're not. Now, the reason why you're staying in a higher gear, changing gear costs you tyre wear. If you did not know that, it does. So just keep that in mind. So if you are trying to save tyres, just stay in a higher gear if possible, as long as it doesn't bog down too much. Happy days. On the right-hand side then, you have that lamppost or announcement post, whatever it is. As that leaves the screen, that's when you brake and turn in for this corner. As we turn in now. Now I'm in 2nd gear. Again, if I'm saving tyres, I'd be in 3rd gear. So through here we go. At the end of the curb on the left-hand side. Then I'm going to start braking and trail braking once again. And we're going to head towards the outside. Just slowly braking in. Not 100% brakes, but slowly braking. You see that there. We just got really close. We have to 100% brake there to avoid hitting the Spaniard. It's a bit of an oversteer as well. Now, I didn't want to be this close, to be honest. I wanted to overtake them on the straight. However, we're going to do it on the last corner here, using that marker on the right side, the end of the barrier there with the orange paint. And that's what we use as a brake marker. We're going to get on the inside here, but I know they're going to come back at me on the straight, which is a bit unfortunate, really. Well, it would have been nice with a bit of bumper drafting, but hey, you're allowed to race how you want to race. And in this situation, they're going to go straight back past me. So that is a lot, guide of Fuji. We've done about 10,000 of these, and they're normally always the same brake markers. So hopefully that does help anybody new to the channel. If you are, you know, you can always subscribe, and we do these weekly race guides every single week. We've done it for over a year and a half now, I think, as you see the Corvette go by. So at this point, I am looking on the inside. I'm thinking I can do this still. I've got the fresher tyres. Again, we stopped actually way early of the apex there, but just a bit tight for me, and the Corvette going to keep that position once again for now. Of course, we've got the much better tyres, so we're going to catch up in speed of sound, basically. Through the left-hander we go. And already we're back on the back of this Corvette, and we're going to go on the inside now. Look at this. So we're just letting the car be bounced by the throttle. Through we go, and we're going to catch up to the next Corvette driver, which is the Finnish driver, Kuka 55. Let's see what we can do here. So straight away, we're very close. We've already dropped the other Corvette, and we're going to go for the little bit of cutback. So you expect that quite a lot there. Be careful that you don't pit maneuver somebody there. As we head down towards the right-hander then, once again, trying to be the last of the late breakers here. And they really dived out the way of the chicane there. Maybe they thought I was going to outbrake myself, but not the case. Fresh tyres, happy days. Through we go. And we've got a long way to go to catch up to P14 then. 3.2 seconds. We saw Dive Bomber last week. Back in the racing again. As we get towards the end then, we did catch up 2 seconds. Not enough though. And that is going to be the end of the race. Don't be a plonker is probably the best thing to say for this week's weekly races. Pit once. And I would do more of a 5-7 split, 6-6 split, rather than pitting on lap 2. Tyres do wear off towards the end, so that is my recommendation for this one. But that's going to be it for this week's races. I do hope you enjoyed them. Thank you to Gran Turismo for some very different races once again. Definitely mixing it up, which is nice. But as I say, that is it for this week. Do like it. If you liked it, subscribe if you want to stay in touch with the content. There's 2 videos for you right there to check out if you want to check those out. But that's going to be it for me now, folks. Have a good rest of the week, evening, day, wherever you are in the world. I'll see you next time.